topic is don't get scammed, and there's a lot of scams around. Um, Now, what I'm not going to talk about tonight, I'm not going to give you a whole bunch of statistics about how many people get scammed and how terrible it is and how many millions of dollars we'll lose and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to put any of them statistics up. But what I am going to talk about, first off, I'm going to talk about just exactly what is a scam. Then I talk a little bit about signs that you might be getting scammed. And then we're going to talk about email scams, social network scams, phone scams, which we get a lot of these days, and then new AI scams. I've done this workshop role for a couple of years now. And this last one I did last month, when I did it at the club last month, this is the first time I put in this section on AI scams because that's all new. That's all new. It's all AI here the last couple of years, last year and a half. So what is a scam? Oops. Hit the wrong key there, sorry. Then talk about how to avoid getting scammed. Okay, so what is a scam? Okay. Dictionary says it's a fraudulent deal and it means to defraud or embezzle. Now, scams have been around for years and years and years and years and years. How do you tell you're getting scammed? Some signs that it might be a scam. Scammers pretend to be from an organization you know. They pretend to be from the Red Cross. They pretend to be from the parish police, from the local police, from the computer club, from Host Skater. When I say Host Skater, that's who our computer club does, and I get at least a couple times a month somebody from the office calls me. We got this email from Host Skater. We got to send them money for our website, and they're just trying to scam the club. Scammers always say that there's a problem. Your grandson is in jail. Your wife is in jail. Leave. Oh, I can't make no wife jokes tonight. She's here.
Yay.
Darn the bad luck. I've had this particular scam pulled me before. When I was living up in Iowa, police called, and the scammer called. My sister was in jail for doing something. I forget what they said she was doing. And so my response was, well, that's a good place for a labor there. But the scammers always say there's a problem and you got to act now. You got to act fast. Immediately. Another thing scammers do is you're going to get something. You're going to get something for acting now. You're going to win the lottery. You're going to get a free cruise. You're going to get something. And remember, these are just signs that there's a scam. Another thing scammers do, and somebody said it just a minute ago, you got to act immediately. You got to do it now. You got to do it quick. Scammers almost always tell you you got to pay in a specific way. Usually it's a gift card or with your debit card. They want to get your bank number. The reason they want debit cards usually is because once you not buy the debit card, but buy the gift card or the debit card and send that off to them, well, there's no way for you to get your money back from it. Okay, email scams. Email scams have been around since the start of email. I know we've all heard of that Nigerian prince, and because that's one of the original email scams. Everybody got an email from the Nigerian prince. But that Nigerian prince scam that started before there ever was email. back in the days before email, the Nigerian prince was a Spanish prisoner or a French prisoner in prison somewhere. And these guys would send out letters, the scammers would send out letters. I'm in prison and I've got millions of dollars. And if you help me, you send me money so I can pay to get out of prison, you're going to be rich. So that was way before email. That was way before email started. Fishing, one of the most popular scams. About I think it was last year, last year or the year before for those in Livingston Parish. Remember when the schools started a month late? The reason they started a month late is one of the school teachers got fished. They thought they were answering an email from the from the superintendent, but in fact, it wasn't from the superintendent, and they were putting scam malware on the computer. Of course, now they never told us this, but that's what really happened, and that happens a lot. That happens a lot. Phishing scams. They send you an email, and you think it's your boss. You think it's your boss that needs $100 right away, or you think it's your cousin, or you think it's me, or you think it's Bill or somebody. And they're really hard to tell. They go mostly they want to get into schools and the hospitals, and because that's where the money is. That's where they get the money. Another one is credit cards. Bank sends you an email saying, we got to verify that your credit card is the right number and everything. And banks don't do that. Banks know where you live. The banks know your credit card number. The banks know all that information about you. But what the bank doesn't know is your password to log into the bank. And the bank isn't going to send you an email asking you for your password to log in. But scammers will. And let me tell you, these emails, they look like they're from the bank. Okay? They look real, but they're not. Disaster relief. Whenever there's a hurricane, whenever there's a flood, whenever there's a big fire, whenever there's something bad goes on, the scammers are out there trying to get your money, trying to make you think that the money you give is going to help some poor kid that got his house burned down. And the scammers aren't going to forward that money to the kid, but the Red Cross will. So you got to be careful when you get those kind of emails. Ransomware, free vacations, sweepstakes, and there's just thousands and thousands, literally, of scam emails you get. I get a lot of them that some gal in Russia wants to meet me. Well, maybe I shouldn't have said that, but I do. I just, and there's just hundreds of them. There's just hundreds of reasons they scam you. Social network scams. I don't know how many of us use social networks. I thought, well, as older people don't usually use them so much as younger people, but most of us, I think, are on Facebook. And there's a lot. So that's why most of the social network scams I'm going to talk about is mostly Facebook scams. But all of these networks, TikTok and Discord and all of X, especially X, it used to be Twitter. All these networks, there's a lot of scammers on these networks. trying to get your dollars.
On
Okay.
Pinterest too?
Like, sorry?
Pinterest?
Oh, yeah. If it's a social network, there's scammers on it. Some of them do a better job of filtering out the scammers, and some of them don't. Most scams in social medias were originally email scams. Just like most email scams are originally chain letters and letters from the prison and those kind of things. As we advance, as the technology advances, well, the scammers advance with it. So a lot of these scams that were originally sent by email are now mostly on social media. Okay? Just like that Nigerian spit. For a while there, it was Mark Zuckerberg. And if you don't know Mark Zuckerberg, he's the guy who founded Facebook. All right. And for a while, there was a lot of email scams, not email, but Facebook scams going around saying, Mark Zuckerberg wants to pay back his loyal people who use Facebook. And if you click this link, he's going to send you $5,000. Yeah. Now, I can tell you for a fact that Mark Zuckerberg didn't get to be a multi-billionaire by giving people like us $5,000 or $5 or $1. Okay. That scam isn't around so much anymore, but every now and then you still see our Bill Gates. Bill Gates. I even seen once one of them scams popped up in my Facebook feed a while back. President Trump is going to give us all something. I forget what it was because I just ignored him myself. Other common face scams, mostly on Facebook. One of my favorites, and boy, you get a lot of them. The first 500 people, or the first 100 people, or the first 1,000 people, or first, if you share this post and you sign in, you're going to get a free something. iPhones, cars, free vacations, free something, free gift certificate. Last one I saw was a free gift certificate for steak dinner at Texas Roadhouse. But only it was Texas Roadhouse with a 0 in it instead of O or something. I forget. It was something just a little different. But the point is they want you to click that link in the post, and that's gonna, get you some malware. It's gonna get you something on your computer most times. And the other thing that happens in a lot of them posts, depending on your settings and on the setting, a lot of them posts, if you share it, they can read everybody in your contact list, depending on how you get your settings set up. They can read everybody in your friends list. And then guess what's going to happen to all them people in your friends list? They're going to start getting emails and stuff too. That's why one of the reasons I got 200 email addresses. I have a lot of email addresses and people make fun of me. But if I start getting a lot of spam mail on my clicker's email address, well, I don't know. I know that somebody that's got that address got scammed or something, and now the scammers have got that email address, and so it's easy for me to change that address. Another one, like this post, and the kid in Africa is going to get an operation. If 500 people like this post, we're going to make the price of our cheeseburgers 2 for 1 or something. There's
Is it dangerous to like a post?
Well, and that's not dangerous to like a post that I post, but posts like this could be dangerous.
How?
Could be dangerous.
But they can tell it's you.
Because what happens with these posts, if they get enough likes, once 10,000 people like that post, okay, all of a sudden that link in that post is going to change. And then other people click on it, it's going to go to someplace that's not so good. Okay. And see, and there again, it depends, you gotta think, it's a matter of thinking, somebody puts up a post picture of their dog. I wouldn't be afraid to like that. I've never liked anything on Facebook. And I don't go on Facebook much, maybe 20 minutes or a half hour every morning to see what the nephews and nieces are doing. But that's just me. I don't click any of those links. If I did, I would never click on one that you see, get enough likes are going to get an operation, or are going to get a move to the top of the liver transplant list or something. I would never ever click on any of those kind of.
I mean, my question is, if I like, how can they come back and hurt me?
So let's see, when you like, you're giving them your information. When you like that post, they can look at that, depending on your settings, on your privacy settings. So most people use the default, and the default is when somebody likes that post, they can see your name and sometimes your address, depending on what you got, your settings are. So. And saying, you can go through them, and Facebook has just got hundreds of settings. You could go through them, and then a month later they might have changed them all again. So it's hard to keep up. It's hard to keep up. Okay. One of my favorite scams, and I get a lot of these in my Facebook feed. It'll be a whole screen of S's, but there'll be one 5, or be a whole screen of 5s, and there'll be one S in there, and they look a lot the same. And only a genius can find that. Only a genius can solve the 1 + 1 + 3. Only a genius can do that. And saying there again, they want you to click. They want you to click that link that's in there, because when you click that link, you're potentially giving them your information. Now this particular scam, and I haven't seen a whole lot of these here in the last few days, and mainly because I bypass them. But I have noticed over the past that my Facebook friends who share these kind of things and post these kind of things and click these kind of things, somewhere along the line, there'll be a post from, I got a virus on my computer. I don't know how I got it. Well, I don't know how they got it either, but I'm willing to bet it could have been from one of these Facebook sharing posts. Now, scammers on Facebook and other social medias, they want you to copy and paste instead of share. And they got reasons for doing that. And I see a lot of these posts, and the posts will come up and say, put your finger on the screen and copy everything, and this is how you copy and paste it. And so I always say, not always, but I a lot of times reply, when I put my finger on the screen, all I get is a fingerprint. Okay? Because I don't have a touchscreen on my computer. I don't have Facebook on my phone, and I never will. But that's how most people do Facebook, and that's how most people do all these social medias, is on their phone. And it's touch and paste. And they want you to copy and paste instead of share. Because when you copy and paste, it makes a new instance of that message. Okay? And these are almost always scams that ask you to copy and paste. They're almost always some kind of scam. And the thing is, and Facebook does try to stop them. Okay? But if 100 people copy and paste, it makes it awful hard for them to stop because there are just so many of them. And they all come in as new messages. All right. And then it just expands and expands and expands. The more to copy and paste, the more it is. And then what happens, and it might be a legitimate message to begin with, but once they get a bunch of people copying and paste, it's not hard to change a link to where instead of going to whatever that picture was, it goes to something not so good. All right. And like I said, with all that copying and pasting, it's hard to find. It's hard for any of these social media outlets to find out who the original bad guy was. Phone scams, calls, and texts. Everybody got a phone anymore. A couple, maybe 5, 6 years ago, not so many people, but we all got a phone in our pocket now. All right. And these scammers, they want to make money. And so they're going to go to where they got a better chance of making money. And one of them is by phone calls, and by texting you, and by sending you email to your phone. And I only do a few email addresses on my phone. This is me personally. I don't take any calls that aren't in my phone list. I gave a presentation in grandparents the other day of how to stop all phone calls, how to stop all scam calls. And that's how I do it, is I just don't answer the damn phone. Some of the common phone scams is the impersonator. And I told you I had the one for my sister, and this is a long time ago. This is more than 10 years ago that happened. That wasn't a phone call. But now you get them. This is your grandson. And I went down to Tijuana to visit my girlfriend, and they picked me up and they threw me in jail. And I need $500 to pay the bond to get out of jail. Can you send it to me? Yeah. Yeah, my grandson's gonna be that dumb. I guess he's gonna have to stay in jail. But most of the time, and as most of the time, those just ain't true. But they sound so real. They do. They can do voicemails that you would think it's really somebody you know calling you. A little offset way to avoid that is do like I do with my grandson. Okay, if I get a call from my grandson, the first thing I'm going to say is, "What's our secret word?" Because the scammer ain't going to know that. Charities. There again, there's a disaster. The scammers are going to be out there being from them fake charities, and they're going to try to get your money. Extended car warranties. Is there anybody who hasn't got an extended car warranties? Yeah, some of them are real, but a lot of them aren't so real. And then they're not hard to do. It's not hard to find out what kind of car everybody drives, because it's open information. You just call DMV. You can get into the DMV records. Okay. So there again, they're not all scams, but a lot of them are. Be careful. And there again, same old thing you get on the other ones. Ransomware, free vacations, debt relief, sweepstakes, thousands more. And they send texts. They'll send you texts or they send you phone calls. And it's mostly texting anymore. AI scams. These are all kind of new because AI has only been around a little over a year now. But AI is getting really good. Voice cloning. Talked about that a little bit before in the phone scams. AI is getting really good. If you talk to an AI, if they get a copy of your voice and you don't need to say too much, the AI can make a clone of your voice that you would swear it's you talking, and they'll put in all the ahs and the ums and who's that you do. And if you say darn a lot, it'll say darn in the voice cloning. Deep fakes. Urban might know more about this than I do, but they do. Yeah, you can make videos and you can make pictures and with the AI, it's getting so easy and so good, you can't tell. You can't hard to tell. One of the things that are coming out now, you see on people post on Facebook and stuff like that, and other people respond, "Oh, that's a fake. That's obviously fake." Well, you can't tell whether it's a fake or not because their AI is getting so good at doing them. AI powered phishing. There again, the AI makes the emails. It used to be in the phishing emails, there'd be little misspellings and stuff like that. But AI has made them better, made them easier to do. And with all our data that's on the internet, these AI programs can make them look so real. Anyway, fraudulent websites and verification staff. Anyway, anybody can copy a website, but AI can do it faster and with fewer mistakes. And your bank, you can go to a bank website that looks exactly like your bank might, but it's not your bank because they copied and they made a whole new website. And instead of capital one, it might be capital one with an A instead of an O, however they spell it. So it's easy to mimic. And then they send you that email and you click the link and yep, that's my bank's website, but it's not your bank website. So it's easy to do. It's easy to change. Romance scams. Them girls keep trying me, but I ain't giving none of my money yet, honey. Uh, and and there it is. And they got the greatest sob story, some of them. No, my husband is so abusive, and I need you to help me escape from him. I'm being held a prisoner in a sewing shop, or there are just thousands of stories. Then, they're after your one thing. They want to get your feelings and they want to get your money. Anyway, AI scams are dangerous, and they're dangerous is because they're becoming much harder to detect than other scams. They can automate scans, personalize the message, create the audio and video. So, you just, what can I say? You just got to be careful. Okay, so why are there so many scams? A lot of reasons. Main reason is because they work. The scammers wasn't making a lot of money off the people they scam. None of us, hopefully. Okay. Eventually they won't scam no more. Hey, work. I don't know if anybody besides me watches X-Files. They got the character Fox Mulder, and he just wants to believe in them extraterrestrials. He just wants to believe they're up there. The aliens are up there. He wants to believe it. Well, when we get scammed, yeah, I want to believe them girls in Russia really like me. I want to believe that. I don't believe it, but I want to believe it. I really want to believe I can save a kid in Africa by sending $50 to some doctor in New York. You know, we want to believe. Most of us want to believe. And scammers scam. And if you get scammed once, I guarantee the other scammers are going to come after you because they know you're a believer. All right. All of these scams, they look so good. You know, they look, oh man, them poor people got hit by that hurricane. And, we got to help them. We got to help them. And there again, with the AI, they look much better than scams do. Yeah, a lot of people are just go good-hearted and they'll fall for the scam. And I've done that myself. Walking down the street and there's the poor homeless feller. I'll give him a buck maybe. Sometimes, not all the times. Most times, no. But people are generally good-hearted. They want to help. When they get these scam messages, I want to help those people who got hit by the hurricane. I want to be good. Scamming is easy to do. When I first joined the club a few years ago, did my first workshop. In fact, I think it was this workshop. I know it was this workshop. I sent out an email to everybody who registered for the workshop. Didn't have nothing in the email except a link. Okay. It was from me to everybody. And if you clicked on that link and went to a website, a web page that I had set up, and said, if I was a scammer, you'd just been had. And I forget, I know some people click, I can't remember how many. I won't mention no names, but people in the club clicked that link. And and I was new to the club. Hell, they didn't know me. But there again, it looked real. It was real, but they clicked that link and they went to, and I forget just what I put on the web page now. It was several years ago, but it was just mainly a page that said, by clicking that link without checking it first, you've been scammed, or you could have been scammed. Scams are easy to involve is one of the reasons there's so many. It doesn't take much to change a scam, from the hurricane to the fire to something else. They're easy to change, easy to evolve. So you gotta be alert so that you don't get hurt. You can't be alert enough, I don't think. Okay, some tips to avoid getting scammed. Okay, stay alert. Be skeptical. If you think it looks like a scam, there's a good chance it is a scam. I'm gonna have to talk about my wife a little bit here. I wasn't gonna, but she's coming back in the computer room all the time. I got this email, or I got this, and that's good. She's being alert and she's coming to check, and most of the times it's a scam. Or pop-up messages and stuff. And that's good. That's good. Be alert and be skeptical. block unwanted calls and text messages. I personally, I don't care who's got my phone number, because I just don't answer the damn thing. If you're not on my phone list and you're not on my contact list, you go right to voicemail. But there's a lot of blocking programs, a lot of things you can do to block them calls and texts. Pat will attest that I'm really hyper on this. Never click on hyperlinks you don't know. Me, I never click on hyperlinks in an email at all, or almost never at all. Even ones that I'm pretty sure are safe. I'll usually just open my web browser and go to it manually. Okay? Just to be extra safe.
What do you mean? What is a hyperlink?
Hyperlink is internet link. It's the underlying link. When it says click here to go to this website,
Yeah, that's a hyperlink.
that's a hyperlink. And anything like that. And if you just mouse over that hyperlink, a little pop-up box will pop up and tell you where that hyperlink is going to.
And then you can put that in a browser.
Yeah, you can copy it and put it in the browser, or you can click it and go to the browser. But you gotta,
It's safer if you copy the link and then
I think it is.
browse.
I think it is, but then again, I'm a little more hyper than most people.
So you would right click it,
So,
right click the hyperlink
yeah,
Copy
copy
the-
link. And
address and then open up a browser.
But
and
if you just mouse over the hyperlink, a little pop-up box will come up and tell you where it's going to.
Yeah, but you can't remember all those
Yeah.
letters, can you?
And it's not a bunch of letters. When you mouse over, it'll pop up like if you mouse over a link to our club, it'll pop up and say Cajun Clickers,
Right, but the
.org.
clickers does not-
clickers.org. Okay. So if you don't know where it's from, and there again, you gotta think, your bank isn't gonna send you a link to their website because they're gonna figure you know it already. Okay. So you gotta be really careful when you're clicking them links. Talked about this earlier. Resist the pressure to act immediately. Okay. If it's a legitimate charity, they'll be just as happy to get your $100 tomorrow as they are today. Okay, so check them out. If they say you gotta act now, or you're not gonna get this free car if you don't act within the next 30 minutes, well, you can pretty well bet it's a scammer. Never ever wire money to somebody you don't know. All common sense stuff. And there again, the old adage, no such thing as a free lunch. If it seems to be too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. And I can't stress that enough. Scammers know that we're easy to, especially as older people, we're easier targets. And they know that. So they're trying to scam us. Hey, I mentioned my wife earlier, and this is just what I'm talking about. If you're not sure, ask somebody that you know is sure. Got any problem? Yeah, call the club, call me, call Bill, call somebody. I got this email and I'm not sure about it. So. That's about all I was going to talk about. I just want to end up by saying stay safe out there. Be suspicious. Be suspicious. Comments? Oh. Question?